Hey everybody, welcome to episode 23 of Tabletop Trials. Sorry we were away for about a week or so there, working on a few different side projects as well. If you've checked our Twitter feed, you'll notice that next Wednesday, we are starting a bi-weekly 5th edition D&D campaign, hosted or DM'd, by none other than Kelly from the Edmonton Nerd List and a few other of our local collective as well. We're going to have Arsan from KefCon, Sean, who has also been on stream, and someone else I haven't met before who runs a local podcast. So that's all exciting. Today, I have 5 tribes. This is on loan from our wonderful sponsor over at Avalon Knights. They recently released, I think it was just over Christmas or just around Christmas, some solo rules for this. Now, unfortunately, I haven't actually played 5 tribes at all, but going through the rules, it seemed like it was a pretty straightforward autopilot, other than just trying to figure out how I actually capture tiles and that sort of thing here. So right now, I just finished setup, so I'm just going through trying to figure out the rules at the moment, and the few modifications that they have for the solo campaign. Oh, where'd it go here? It's just an extra 2-page PDF in case you're ever interested that you can just find on Days of Wonder's site directly. All that you actually need in extra is 2 dice. It says a black and white. I'm going to use blue and red. Blue for black just to make her easy, and a red as my white die. Rolling the die indicates which a column and row that the enemy djinn will target, and wipe out that entire tile in one heavy go. So, flip on over the table here as we try to figure this on out. Well, okay, so you immediately lose the game if there are 7 assassins next to the board, 6 djinns next to the board, and you cannot pay Yazid when required to. At the end of the game, you must have more visors than Yazid. If not, you lose the game. Well, that's a bunch of loose conditions. Oh, do not use the bid and order track. Take only 25 coins, which I have done. Take the 11 blue camels for myself and 11 pink camels next to the board for Yazid. Yazid is the autopilot character that's been created. Oh. Bank. Where are we going to put this? So, let's just put this at the top of the board. Blues. Oh, missed one. Okay. Blues for myself. Oh, on top of that, rest of the setup remains unchanged. So I have randomized the tiles. So now I need to go through and place 3 meeples on each. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. I guess as far as setup goes, there's quite a lot of little pieces involved, but not compared to a lot of the games that I've played. They can be quite a bit more on the excessive side. Any kind of civ building game comes to mind. Okay. Oh, hold on extra. Okay, along with this, so each color of meeple falls into a specific role. those all have an autopilot command as well. For, I already forget his name. Yazid. Yes, that is it. I will constantly be unable to pronounce a lot of these things as they come up, as this is extremely far from my native tongue. But we'll see how it goes. How's everybody else doing today? I guess I actually end up using all of these. I guess that makes sense. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just about 3. 3. 3. And our last 3. Okay. So, setup as usual. 3 meeple on each. We did money, gens, everything. VPs. 4. 1 for each coin I own. 1 for each yellow meeple. Plus 10 for each opponent who is strictly less than you. And I absolutely have to have more or I lose. 2 VPs per elder, which are white. Sum of VPs for all my gens. 3 VPs for each palm tree on all my tiles. Choose the what? Those with one of your camels on it. That makes sense. 5 VPs for each palace on all your tiles. Sum of VPs for all your tiles. Sum of VPs for each series of merchandise. But not slaves. Now this is one of the early editions where they are slaves. They were changed to visors in the new edition. Days of Wonder came under a large amount of controversy over the use of slaves, despite the fact that it is thematic. I don't know, it's always been one of those things that's kind of a hot topic whenever it comes up. Game turn, we skip the entire bid order, because that has its own here. Autopilot for Yazid. And my turn, move meeple, check for tile control, do the tribes actions, do the tiles actions, merchandise sale. So, cannot move diagonally. What? Okay. Okay, we skip the turn marker, move meeples, select a tile that still has some meeples on it, at least one. Take all the meeples from that tile in your hand and move them onto adjacent tiles. Okay. Dropping 1 meeple on each tile as you pass through until you run out of meeples. So I start stacking them up. Can't backtrack. You choose the order in which you drop meeples from your hand as you move from tile to tile, but you must make sure the last meeple you drop goes on a tile that already contains at least 1 meeple of that same color. Okay, green can't reach the oasis. No immediate backtracking. A loop is 5 meeples in a circle. So I don't actually end up controlling any? Okay. Okay, tile control check. Once you finish moving the meeples, take the last meeple you dropped on the final tile back in your hand, along with all other meeples of the same color. Okay, so whatever one I place, I get those ones back. You should now have at least 2 of identical color in your hand, the one you dropped last, and at least 1 meeple of same color. Otherwise you didn't follow the last meeple same color rule on page 4, try again. If removing all the meeples of this color from that tile empties it of all of its meeples, you immediately take control. Okay, so if it's all of one color, then I would take possession. Okay, there's the specific actions that each one's do, which I believe is also on, the front side of this player card. Tile actions: build an oasis village, market, sacred places, merchandise sale. Discard 1 or more suits of merchandise cards, all different from each other, and immediately take from the bank the corresponding number of coins. Number of cards in suit. So they must be different, and multiples nets me more money. Okay. Replenish the row of resource cards, because then it's only on the tile actions that I would acquire them, it would appear. Ends with no. So you could technically run out of legal meeple movement. That's always a potential. And I don't think I've placed, one of 3 constant colors. Okay. But start. That seems it. You don't actually start with any resources. You simply place okay. Hop. What does that actually get you? So, I'm not 100% on what's going on. We'll just kind of figure it out as we go. Move meeples. Okay, so I would simply pick a tile. Now, is it based off one that I own? It doesn't appear so. Literally just pick one. Okay, but initially, end game, we roll the 2 die. Blue for black. So a 3 and 1, so 3 and 1. Now he straight up clears the tile, captures all meeples that are on the targeted tile depending on their color. When he clears a tile, he immediately places a camel. As long as there's no other camel already there, Yazid never performs the targeted tile action though, so he doesn't actually do it. Djinns have no effect for him, but your own djinns can still be activated for his actions. Receive 2 gold coins when Yazid takes visors. Okay, so special things. So a yellow and 2 greens. Capture merchants, go back in the bag. Yazid takes that many resource cards beginning at the start of the line and discards them all for slaves. So so end of the line, start of the line. Beginning at the start of the line. So he takes 2 into his own hand. And 1 white. Place the captured elder next to the board if Yazid has at least 1 elder and 1 slave, or 2 elders if he has none. At the end of his turn, he discards them to buy the first available Djinn from left to right, which is going to be down as we go. You immediately lose the game if there are 6 next to the board. So if no one's bought any in a long time, that's a lose condition. Okay, now myself. Did I want to do that? No. I have to spread over 3. That's how that functions. Now I can go here and place 1, 2, 3. It would appear, it seems, because then that's in a straight line, it didn't go diagonal. Regular hops, because you can go in a circle. No immediate backtracking. Last meeple. You choose the order in which you drop meeples from your hand as you move from tile to tile, but you make sure the last meeple you drop goes on a tile that already contains at least 1 meeple of the same color. So you finish moving them. Take all other meeples of the same color, so I'll take all 4 assassins. I believe they're called, yes, assassins. Which nets me the check because it's empty for a camel. The small market, pay 3 gold to take 1 of 3 resource cards from the start of the line. Now that only refreshes in merchandise sale, I believe. It doesn't actually refill as we go. Tile control check. If you wish to sell, clean up, replenish. Okay, so you don't actually do it till the cleanup phase. Okay, so I have done that now. So I can pay 3 to get jewels. Okay. Cleanup is refresh. Down, up, down. Oops. Okay. Wouldn't do sale because I'd only get 1. Did the tile action. So we just reroll his dice and away we go. 5 and 6. This one right here. So he's got a yellow, so a visor, an assassin, and a builder. I didn't do my assassin actions. Put your assassins in the bag and kill 1 meeple. Number of assassins, if any, tiles away. So I can kill 1 meeple up to 4 tiles away. Actually, it doesn't say up to. But I can use them. See, I want him to buy them, but I don't necessarily want them to get his abilities. So doing so could possibly net me an easier target. That makes sense. Where's a big pointer? One, two, three, 4. Okay, there we go. Now, so he's got a builder, an assassin, and a visor. visor just gets put next to the board. Builder, put the captured builder in the bag and perform the builder's action for Yazid. Instead of scoring these points, he takes them from your personal stash. You immediately lose the game if you run out of money, even if you still have some merchandise left. Put your builders in the bag, score number of builders plus slave cards if any, times number of blue valued tiles surrounding your final tile. Including that what? If blue valued. Okay. The one he just took was red. So 1 times number of blue valued tiles. So 1. So I lose 1 money. And then assassin gets placed next to the board. Okay. Now where's a good hop? Oh. That one has to move 4 because of the way we moved it. 1, 2. So I need to have more visors than he does. But I can use 2 of the elders. Or 2 VPs each. Okay. One, 2, whoops, 3. So I have 3 elders. How does that phase work? Replenish row. To make a total of 3. Now you're ready to move all to next turn and start bidding. Okay, so that did not clear that tile. So we clean up and there's already 9. Oops. Where did that duck go? There she is. Die. Alrighty. Is that literally remove all meeples of the same color of your last tile you moved, place a camel, do the tile's actions, merchandise sale. How do I purchase genies? Tile control. I didn't see a direct way of actually purchasing them. Bid for turn order. Moving, tribes actions. During the game. Now, I have the player card flipped over, so I actually kind of can figure out what they do. This one nets me 8. And palm trees are 5 points instead of 3. Each time your assassins kill a merchant, draw 1 resource card, builder. Okay, so that gives my assassins abilities. And this guy, take control of 1 tile with only meeples on it, no camel, palm tree, or palace. So literally, it costs 2 elders, or an elder and a slave, and I immediately just take over a space. That's beneficial. Let's spend 2. believe that's how this works. Okay, it said spend 2 whites. Spend some of these elders instead during the game. It doesn't say for how many. I thought it was 2 for 1. But that is not overly clear. It would make sense because for the autopilot it says if he has 2, he discards them to buy the first available one. So let's spend 2. Let's get this guy. Gives my assassins things if I take them. Builder, take the coins that Builder would have taken. Visor Elder, place it in front of you instead of killing it. Okay. Oh, clean up, refresh resources, but nobody bought anything. I guess newest to the bottom. Okay, so autopilot. 2 and 6. This one right here. Assassin, these all go directly next to the board. At the end of his turn, so it's the end of his turn, so he immediately spends 2 elders and takes the topmost. Oh, he's supposed to place his camel on that. Oops, that's my camel. He's got a camel there. He's got one there too because he cleared that tile. That one was me. That one was me. That one was my start. So, merchants get me resources. But he's got 2 visors already. What are we gonna do? I kill the guy there. Blues. Times number of blue tiles 1, so it only gets me 3 coins. I need some merchants, I would think, but I need the visors as well. Oh, nothing is really 3 tiles away. 1, 2, 3, maybe? Means this thing is loaded. Green, yellow. So then I take all of these guys. Still failed to clear. Refill. Oh. So now it said that the game ends when there are 6 genies next to the board. But does that count on us purchasing them as well? Because then that would be within 1 more turn. Almost as if I'm not supposed to buy them on auto. Interesting. Failed to clear, refilled, roll. Two and 6 again. So it literally just goes to the next one over. Was it column or row? As long as there's no other camels already there. You must choose a second target in any... What? The top one and the bottom one that's on a 6. If there's only one tile with meeples left, you must choose a second target in any other column. Just put him to the one next to him. That was that green guy. So assassin and visor stacks up. Oops. And a merchant nets him another card. It didn't say at any time if he does actually try to sell. Beginning at the start of the line and discards them. Okay, so he would have gotten 2 and then 1. So he should actually have 3. Oh, and when I paid the 1 point, he should have taken it. Okay, my turn. Oh, he cleared that. Because I go quick. It seems either I'm playing this wrong or it's way more difficult than I expected. Because then what do you do with these just empty tiles that you start? You just make dead spots? I guess you actually start playing stuff on them. What happens if I assassinate the last meeple? It just would clear it out. My assassins, though, either get me resource money or directly into my hand. So... let's... can't do anything with him. Green, blue, white. Take the 3 white. Okay, refill. I still only have 1 resource. Roll 1 and 6. That's already a spot, so he takes this one instead. 2 and a resource card. Oh, that doesn't refresh. Plays as a camel. Thing is, he scores points quick. I guess it does say if you're, like, as long as you have more visors than he does, then at least you succeed. It's just to what degree. You can get 190 and below and at least you survived. So you barely make it. Can I actually capture some points? You got that big 15-pointer. Can do that. And do... I would do red, blue, camel, and I get a palm tree. Woo! 2 reds means I assassinate a meeple 2 tiles away. Let's pop this yellow guy. And what I do, I immediately get him into my hand. So that's beneficial. Refill resources. Autopilot. 2 and 2 I already own, so he goes 1 to the left. Gets 2 resources. Immediately gets 1 coin. And 2 times 1, 2, 3, so then 6 for his builders. Myself, oops, and a camel. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. What do we do? Let's see, that only gets me 4. I thought I'd set up something in the greens, that way to get some resources. But 1, 2, 3, ooh, that'll do her. Oops. Yellow, white, white, green. And then I get 4. So I get 4 resources. Whoops. I claim what? Another palm tree. And I pulled 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, this is my first playthrough and on solo nonetheless. It seemed a little bit more straightforward than I was anticipating, but that's alright. That's the way it goes. Now I have 4. 4 gets me 13 coins. Let's bump them. I get 13. Which I mean, I want to have those considering he takes them directly on my pile. He's got 5 assassins. If he gets 2 more, the game's over. And I lose. So, clean up. That just gets shuffled over. And up. Oops. Flip the fish. Okay. Autopilot. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. So he just gets the top resource, which he cashes immediately and gets 1. And places a camel. Were you just talking about that space, or were you talking about something else? Myself, that's not a valid move because you can't move just 1. Where is something I could just clear? Like probably, I would think that I can't place something directly on a tile that has already a camel on it. Never end on an empty tile. Must always be at least one meeple of the same color. Okay, ownership. No backtracking. See, it doesn't say that you couldn't put one on if it was taken. Oh, and when the assassins take out that tile, you take it. That would give me way more points than I had originally. That makes quite a bit of difference. Single turn, these assassins give their player control of not one but 2 tiles because they eliminate the last one. So I have one of those empty ones that I have a feeling that I cleared out. That makes more sense. Starting from 1 though just leaves it blank. Tile actions. That one, when they're doing the moving, doesn't actually have any camels down. Oops. Alrighty. So I might have to start this all the way over again. That's alright, this doesn't seem like it's going to last much longer. 4 and 4, done, taken. Myself. Where is a decent move? That gets me a chunk. I have more visors, so at least I will score. Assuming we can actually run out of camels before he gets assassins. Okay. Oh, 5. 1, 2, 3. You would have to be able to place on ones with camels already. They just wouldn't be able to be scored, I suppose. Okay, blue, white, red. Gives you 1 up to 3 away. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now that I actually understand that. Oops, no. That just happens. Pay either 2 elders and discard 1 slave to gain 1 of their powers. You may invoke that power cost now if you have enough. Let's get something with points. Oops. Yeah, it's at the end anyways. Waffle House, what's going on? And let's refresh this. Autopilot. 6 and 6, which means it attacks twice. Both top and bottom of that column. Okay, black die shows a 6, strikes twice. He targets 2 tiles, the top and bottom of 1 available in the column indicated by the white. So in 6, top and bottom. If there's only 1 tile with meeples left, so he takes both of these. Ah, 3 whites. 2 blues. Oh, I should have done these individually. They were on separate ones, so he'd get 1. I'm gonna get wrecked. Green, so he gets a resource and gets a coin. Ah. And now we're tied for visors. Okay. So I need more yellows. One, two. At least then that gives me a bit of a bump. You choose an empty tile with no camel, maple, palm tree, or palace. Place 3 maples on that tile drawn at random from the bag. Oh, so you can repopulate. Well, I'm going to do such things. I count for victory points at the end, but at the same time that gives me more spots to conquer. This is almost over, and I was playing around, so that definitely doesn't help. We'll give her the old college try after again. 3 and 3. That one. So to the left. Blue for 2. Resource card, which immediately he gets 1 for. Oh, and he should have already bought the top 2 of these guys before that refreshed. There's a lot more going on. There we go. Okay, so that's where we actually should have started. Because then he would have spent these guys and these, and then it's the end of his turn. So then he gets another one, because then he spends these. Now, in these rules, when it says 6 next to the board, is that referring to, that wouldn't be the sale pile, because when you buy them you place them beside the board. It's not exactly the most clear, but that's alright. That was that space right there, so we're almost over. Looks like I'm surviving, although I'm not gonna, I guess realistically, as long as I survive, that's the goal here. As long as he doesn't get that space, so I feel like I need to move through it. Oops, oops. How do we want to do this? Two reds, a blue, a white, and a yellow. One, two, three, four. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to look and make sure if I can actually. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where do I go? 6, 8, 5. Let's try. I want to score them. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pop. So I get 1 here. Spend 6 and take 2. option, but that's okay. Hey, Wolf House, how's it going? Okay, refresh. What are we at? 1, 2, 4 over there. Wait, how do I do it this way? Okay. Oh, jeez. That just got messed up bad. There's 4 here, 2 here. Okay, so maybe not actually that bad. Bank is winning, because now immediately 6 and 6 is 2 in the same column, which can't happen, which means then it goes to the next row. That doesn't make sense. We're just going to start placement over again. It seems like I at least made it through. Well, I gave her the college try. I think I'm gonna have to actually sit down and play this with people another day. Actually sit down and figure out the rules. Probably not the best game to take on solo as your first attempt. But it seems like the autopilot, even just using the 2 die, seems fairly well laid out. Because they do have preset actions based on what meeples the enemy or your opponent has and which ones they pull off. They don't get any of the Jin's abilities though, and they immediately cast their resource cards, even though they might only pull 1, so they are just immediately cashing in for points. Other than that, it seems alright. There seemed like there was quite a bit of hype around this game. But like I said, I need to sit down and actually play it another day. Thank you again to the fantastic people over at Avalon Knights for allowing me to borrow this game for tonight's stream. Unfortunately, I actually haven't even made it out to one of their game nights yet. This Saturday they actually have a D&D or a pen and paper open night. I just don't, or I'm working this weekend, so I can't actually make it to that. However, we have our own D&D night now, every other Wednesday starting next Wednesday. We'll be doing a 5th edition campaign, party of 5 with a DM. Should be interesting. It's my first actual pen and paper where we'll have hopefully play more than once. The other one, I think we met a whole grand total of 1 time, and we would try to reboot the campaign every now and again, and it just would never actually get off the ground. Okay, so what time is it? 8:30. We're gonna switch to something I know, and we're gonna do let's do Flashpoint. I did that last week, and I really enjoyed that one. One thing we're also looking at starting is a legacy game, either Risk or Pandemic, probably leaning more towards the Pandemic side of things. I know a lot of people might not want to tune in for the whole spoilers aspect, but I've watched videos around it, and there is a little bit of mystery as far as what's in the boxes and what's coming up if you win or lose, but it's still kind of a choose your own adventure, so things don't always happen the way you expect it to. So there is still always a mystery to it, unless, I mean, you play it and you play exactly how we would play. But besides that, I don't really see the spoiler part out of it. We're just right now trying to nail down a solid group for or a consistent group, so we can actually play regularly, because that's always the tricky part, is as adults trying to organize everybody's time together. Okay. And 1 coins. Oops. Those don't fit in there nicely. Let's just get them in there. Ah, big bag of meeples. Camels. Player boards. Oh, and the score sheet that I didn't even bother doing, because I know for a fact I barely won. But that was 5 tribes. Like I said, for my first playthrough as a solo game, definitely not something that I would just immediately jump to, but it still was enjoyable. Put these guys away. Flashpoint. Fire rescue. Oh. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. Well, last time I played as 1 player, I already was going to pick up some expansions for this, just to get some different maps and that kind of thing, even though I only played it that one day. Side A, side B. I think this is the harder one because there's only 2 external doors. No, 4. This is the one with only 2 doors. Let's do that one. This one I ended up burning quite a bit of stuff. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna do. It's gonna show up good on stream. Ooh, let's get rid of some of that glare. Alrighty, let's do green, blue. What shows up good? Bright yellow and blue, I suppose. Yeah, that shows up good. Alrighty. Ton of chits and no bags. We're gonna do ambulance, fire truck, okay, bags, mystery tokens. Close up those rules there. This guy. Oh. Okay. Damage tokens. Put those all over here. Oops. Okay. Mystery people. Let's not save the cat. Flip all these guys over. Let's see if I can actually remember how to play. That'll be the interesting challenge. See how many blanks I pull up again. So hard mode, I have to actually rescue 7. Place all the doors, medic tokens. Hard mode, we also play with explosives and hot zones, because I think that was what was getting me last time. I did actually manage to win both times last time though, so that's always good. Door is closed. Because when your house is on fire and you're cowering in random rooms, you make sure every single door in your house is closed. Extra tokens. Now, setup of where the fire goes. For hard mode. We did recruit last time, which was three explosions, 3 hazmats. I think only one of the hazmats got triggered. First explosion, roll the black 8-sided die to determine target space as follows. On 1, so in 3 and 3 an explosion happens. And a hot spot. 3 and 3. So we resolve an explosion. Fire, fire, fire. And a damage token on this wall. Second explosion, roll both dice to determine target. 5 and 1. So in the kitchen, where a fire makes sense. Damage, damage. Fire, fire, fire. Third explosion, flip over to show opposite face of the black die. So 1 becomes a 6 and 5. 6 and 5 right here. So, hot spot, door is blown off. Fire, 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 and a damage token. Is it actually showing up decently on camera? Yeah, actually not too bad. Shuffle that down a bit. There we go. That actually looks not too bad. A little bit shiny. I really need to fix my lighting. That'll happen one of these days. I promise. Eventually. Okay. Already did. Oh, 2 victims and a false. So there should be a false in here still. False. Victim. Okay, so we gotta mix those up. Flip the remaining 10 and 5 false over. Shuffle, roll the dice 3 times. Place 1 on each. Oh, roll to place the hazmat target space as a fire marker. Roll again. Place the hazmat marker in the target space. So we do 3 hazmats, and then I place 3 targets. Yep. Okay. Oops. So, hazmat goes to 6 and 8. On the bed. 1 and 1 under the couch. And 1 and 2. Okay, so let's place point of interest tokens. Six and 2. 3 and 5. 1 and 2, there's already a hazard there. It's not on fire, so they can technically occupy the same space. Now, blue and yellow, and I'll have to pick which 2 guys I'm going to play as. Blue and yellow. And there's no giant chunk of fire, so I'm not super all about using the water gun right away. Paramedic, hazmat. Reveal tokens, deck gun, fire captain, generalist. Let's get the firefighter and the rescue, because that seems like the way to go. Yellow will go first. You're gonna go there, and you're gonna go there. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. Roll to place the additional hotspot markers. We're not doing any. Place the remaining damage markers around. Firefighter on any board space outside the building. Okay, now that they're done, I can figure out where I want to put them. I mean, there's already one rescue here. This still seems like the easier way between the buildings. So let's do that. Oh, this is how you go first. Okay. Blue is gonna go first. One to move. Or wait, sorry. One gets me 3 move. Actions. Move is 1 action point. Nope, sorry. So 1, 2, 3 of my free. 3, 4, 5. I don't want to move directly next to the fire, so that's not going to happen. We're just going to go over here. Now yellow. 1, 2. No, it's blank. So that was 1, 2. We'll just hang out, I suppose. So I only used 1, so I'd retain 3 AP for next time. Advance fire is just roll and place a marker, and then I roll to replace. So advance fire to 6 and 6 is already on fire, so an explosion happens. Damage, damage, fire, fire. Okay. Place a marker at 6 and 2. There already is 1. 4 and 3. 4 and 3. Okay, start. Was it 2 to chop? So 1 to move. Leaves me 2 regular action points. Use 2 on fire, 2 on this. I'm gonna chop that wall. Let's move up 1. Okay. How else do we want to do this now? Okay, yellow. 3 free movement. 1, 2, 3 for free. 1 AP to chop. 2 to move. Blank again. 3, 4 to open. Oh. 5, 6. There's actually a guy there. Ah. 4 and 4. Because it's fire, smoke appears. Advance fire. Actions, advance fire. Smoke. So you place a smoke. Smoke on smoke is fire. Smoke on fire is explosion. Smoke on blank is smoke. Okay. You need a door. Crew change, ride, drive. Like a radio for the ambulance. Because without the ambulance, I have to carry him, and that just sucks. So I spend the regular 2 AP to move it. Okay. So, advanced fire completed. Blue. 1, 2, flip. He is going to maintain an action. Yellow. Two. So that leaves me 1 free. That leaves me 2 actions and 1 free move. He goes outside, uses the free move. Leaves me 1 action to then go back in. Okay, so I'll advance the fire. 6 and 3. 6 and 3. Smoke, luckily that's behind a closed door, otherwise that would be fire as well. Okay. We only have 2 POI on the board, so we're going to place one at 3 and 5. Right all the way back here again. Kind of hacking down this house because I have to. Do I want a roll change? Roll change costs what? 2 if I remember. Crew change, 2 AP. Yeah, I'm not really getting the gain out of him. Let's sub him out. Become a hazmat technician. Where do they start? Chop. Advanced. Crew change. Oh, you have to start in the same space as the engine. Okay, no, never mind. So I am the firefighter. Okay. Now I have 4. That only gets me 2 spots. 1, 2. Okay. You We're going to use 2 to then call the ambulance, which then rescues this guy. How do we want to do this? One. That cost me 2. There's my 3 free movement. That was 2. That was 2. Okay. Advance fire. 3 and 2. On the space I'm in. If I recall, that means the guy dies and I'm knocked out. Advanced fire. Take actions, crew change. Resolving explosions, flashovers, hazmat, flare-ups, knockdowns. When a firefighter is knocked down, the firefighter is placed in one of the 2 spaces of the ambulance's current parking spot. So I'm basically kicked out of the building. This guy dies. And there's fire there. Smoke? Or do I just place a smoke token underneath me? Okay. Now, knockdown, I thought was just explosions. Victims must be carried to the ambulance. Firefighter's knocked down and goes to the ambulance. When fire advances into their space, it could be an explosion or being in a smoke-filled space that ignites. Okay, so just being smoke doesn't actually trigger me moving. So that's good. I think. Seems that's the way it's worded. So we advanced fire. We're down 1 POI. 1 and 4. Right here. Okay. Blue. Two. I think I already used that. Well, my last one I should have. So we're just going to remove that. Leaves me 1, so we're going to save it. Yellow. 1, 2, 3 free move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Advance fire. 2 and 4, or sorry, 4 and 2. Okay, blue. 1, 2. Which means he spends this. Blue, you're going to move outside. Call the ambulance and rescue. So that was 2 regular, 1 free. One free, 1, 2 regular. Okay. Advanced fire. 5 and 1. Place a POI at 7 and 3. Blue goes first. 1. So that leaves me 1 to go there. Yellow. 1, 2 free. 3 free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Advance fire. 5 and 1 already has. So fire. Because the flare-ups happen when again? Actions, fire, flare-ups. When the target space of the advanced fire roll contains a hotspot, it triggers a flare-up. Advance the fire an additional time. Okay, so that's only if it places in where there's a hotspot, which there should be 3 right now. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Alrighty. Now we only have 1 POI. So with, oops, sorry, 3 and 3 that one was. Right where there's a hotspot. 3 and 6. Next to the door. Alrighty. One regular, 3 regular. Save an action. That was backwards, but it's okay. 1, 2. Save an action. Eight and 2. Okay. Now blue is only going to be able to advance to here. Yellow is going to summon you over here. So that's 2 regular, leaves me 1 free. Spend 2 regular to come back. And then 1 free to go back in. He would have used that. Place fire. 6 and 1. And a POI at 2 and 6. Okay, blue goes outside. Moves. So that's all of it. Yellow, 1, 2, 3, free, 1 regular, 2 regular, 3, 4 regular. Okay. Two and 6. What are we at? We're at 5 already. It's not too bad. 2 and 6. We play smoke. Becomes fire. So this guy dies. Okay. Only have 2 POI on them, or 1. So 4 and 5. That's not happening. And 3 and 5. That might happen. Oh, is it worth doing a crew change? I'm gonna spend 2. Become a paramedic, which has 2 points left. Which is then drive the fire truck, I think. Ooh. No. You're gonna move the ambulance. So you get rescued. It gets me to 6. Now I only need 1. 1 more. Yellow. 1, 2. Two regular, saved. And we win. Well, I have yet to actually lose. I am only playing on beginner difficulty, so we might need to crank her up next time we play. That's all for today, unfortunately. We are back again on Sunday. We should have a few regulars back then for some non-solo games, and then next Wednesday, come pop by when we start our Dungeons and Dragons segment, because that should be fun. We haven't actually named the campaign or what we're actually going to call the episodes or anything like that. I believe Kelly wants to actually wait and somehow work that in with chat, so that should be interesting, but we will see. Once again, thanks for coming by, everybody, for episode 23, and to Avalon Knights for providing us with a copy of 5 Tribes to play earlier in the night. Have yourself a good evening, everybody.